designer, becoming the brand is the topic for tonight. A lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying, when y'all have ventured out and started your brand, have pretty much been doing it on your own, trying to figure out how to, scale your business, and also trying to figure out how to do it on your own while you have to, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to primarily touch on tonight because, I'm a founder that has pretty much started my business by myself, has been, making things happen primarily by myself. Now, don't get me wrong, you still need other moving parts like models, manufacturers if, you're wholesale and, of course, can't put everything together by yourself, but, for the most part, it's all me. So, you know, let's tap into it. But before we do, make sure that you like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, so that way they can be tapped in with us as well too, and see the positive messages that we're putting out here at Dreams of Ruler Street Fashion. What we typically like to do on Day in the Life of a Designer is pretty much give you the mindset that you need in order to build your brand the right way. Also give you the behind the scenes of things that we do, the process of, putting things together and so forth. So let's just get right into it, right? So when it comes to becoming the brand, the main question is, can a brand become iconic if its founder doesn't live its values? Now, primarily for, a lot of businesses, the founder's values typically are not even a part of the business except for, different systems that they put together for the business. But nowadays, brands don't even need the founder to be the face of a brand because there's literally brands on YouTube running off of faceless animation. So that just tells you the type of, content that is able to be put out. Then on top of that, type of world we live in now. Everything is becoming more media driven, similar to what we spoke on last night. Media is primarily, the new business structure. Then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? There's brand ambassadors, social influencers, things of that sort that can all step in front of your brand along with the products you release. You know what I'm saying? The people that, you connect with and so forth. People often connect with the person behind the brand, but every public appearance, interview, live stream, interaction shapes perception. A founder communicates the brand before a product does. So don't get me wrong, the founder always has impact. It's always important. If anything, you've seen most iconic brands anyway, you always see the leader in the forefront. Lamborghini, fucking Ferrari, fucking even Nike. Phil, whatever the fuck his name is, fucking has been in front of Nike, when they first started. He stepped back a little bit more as he got older, but he was always in the forefront of what Nike was doing, even when they went public. So it's just, you know what I'm saying? That's probably the first public traded fashion brand too. But ultimately, your everyday decisions build the brand. You feel what I'm saying? With the products that you release, you know what I'm saying, the stories you tell, the collaborations, you accept, the standards you stand by and maintain, the way you communicate with your audience. Your brand isn't only what you design, it's what you consistently reinforce. You feel me? It's your morals, it's your principles, it's your philosophy, and it's got to be clearly spoken to your audience. You feel me? In order for them to even be able to understand it, for them to, relate to it, and for them to be supporting what you got going on. You feel me? If your philosophies don't line up with common things that people associate with, then your message is never fully going to get across. It's typically going to be missed. And most people, even if they do see it, are going to ignore it because it's going to be confusing. So you want to have clear philosophies in your designs and your imagery. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, that ice cream they make at my job is fucking crack. But anyway, back to the story at hand. Consistency creates trust. Consistency matters more than constant reinvention, just because of the simple fact that the more that you do something, the more that the results compound. See, I had an actual business meeting today with one of my business partners, with one of my other brands, and fucking a representative for a marketing company. And we were talking to him. We were pretty much telling him, like, yo, bro, like, consistency matters way more than sometimes content and marketing strategies, for the simple fact that as long as the content is relative to what the brand is trying to put out and the message that it's putting out, the strategies at times doesn't really matter unless it's a proven system. You feel what I'm saying? What really matters is you showing up every day with that content, making sure that content is high quality, and it's going to breed the results that it's going to breed the more that you put it out there, and the more that you have consistency in similar topic lines, if not, same type of content. Would someone recognize your work without seeing, your logo? The difference between evolving your identity and abandoning it. You gotta live, the philosophy. If your brand stands for craftsmanship, excellence, or purpose, the question you really need to ask is, do those habits align and reflect that? Or, does my content reflect that? Or does even my work ethic reflect that? Most of y'all niggas' work ethic is fucking horrible. Like, people want to collab with me at times, and I literally have said no to all them motherfuckers, because literally once I either get on their presence or just look at what they got going on, you can tell somebody's consistency just through that. Their actions show it. Like, a consistent person literally will be a person, once you text them, they're going to text you, maybe not immediately right back, but as soon as they see that joint, they're going to reply right back. And it's not going to be too long thereafter either, unless they got really something to do. Like, and that's the crazy part about a lot of y'all niggas. A lot of y'all niggas be just ghosting niggas, thinking like they ain't nobody. Then, you know, when you really need them motherfuckers, you be like, damn, why ain't they hit me fucking back? Cause nigga, fucking treated those people like they wasn't shit. Then when you needed them, you thought they was the shit. Now that they ain't helping you, think they ain't shit. It's perspective. But if you fucking do shit the right way, you treat people the right way, your fucking habits are A1, you're consistent, you're on time, you're learning your craft, doing the research, niggas is gonna fuck with you 10 out of 10, at least 9 out of 10, you feel me? Like, a philosophy has to be practiced, not just written. Not something that you just say out your mouth and you think everybody's just gonna go with it and not look at what you're doing behind it. You feel me? Like, you gotta think beyond the clothes, but you also gotta think mindset first. You feel me? Explore how people experience a brand through, you know, conversations, live streams, podcasts, you know, behind the scenes moments, you know, customer interactions. These experiences often create a perception as much as, you know, the products themselves do. And that's why, you know, I referenced Lauryn Hill in one of, you know, my live streams, because she said it best. Like, you got to go out and experience life in order to actually be able to be a creator, because you got to understand certain aspects of life. You may not have to understand life as a whole, but you definitely got to learn different aspects, different, you know, meanings of situations. You got to actually deal with different situations in order to be able to have a story, like, or at least be able to tell a story, you know what I'm saying? So the main thing is that with all this, you start building credibility. And when you start building credibility, you're pretty much showing people through the fact that you earned it, you follow through on commitments. You continuing to learn. You're improving your craft on, you know, a day, weekly, and yearly basis. Being, you know, transparent with the process and also your audience. You feel me? Respecting your audience's time and attention, because you feel like that's equivalent to yours. You feel me? Like, when you appreciate other people and their time, that also breeds great results too, because it also shows a great customer experience. They're gonna remember that for a lifetime, especially every time they fuck with your brand, you do the same thing, if not better. Protect the vision. You know what I'm saying? Avoid distractions. Knowing when to say no. Knowing when, you know, the right moments for you are present. You feel me? Because every moment, every opportunity isn't right for your brand, isn't right for you as a, you know, creator. You pretty much gotta, you know what I'm saying, look at each situation and assess, you know what I'm saying, is this gonna bless my brand 20, 30 years, 40 years from now? You know what I'm saying? Is people gonna be able to actually see my brand as an iconic brand after this moment? Or is this moment gonna, you know what I'm saying, start to propel me in that direction to where people will start to see my brand as iconic? You feel me? Those are the type of decisions and questions you want to ask yourself when you're getting ready to take opportunities, take different, you know what I'm saying, collaboration, different gigs, you know what I'm saying, extracurricular activities for your brand, what I like to call them. You're pretty much, you know, in the process of becoming before you arrive. You feel me? Don't wait until you've made it to act professional. Develop the habits, discipline, and standards that match the future you're building. Growth happens before recognition. That's why they use the phrase fake it till you make it. It's not about faking the fact that you got $1 million. It's about acting like you have it. You feel what I'm saying? Taking those principles that a person that is rich, a person that is a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, the things that they would typically do, that's the same things you should start implementing in your life. That's the same care that you should have for your life and, the things that, you own or possess. You feel me? It's just a matter of understanding where you are and who you are becoming. And once you embrace that, like I said, along with many other things, you will start to see positive results. Because once you start putting positive actions behind something like that, it's going to start to create leverage for you to move up positions in this life. And life is fully about leverage. You feel me? It's all about positioning. And if you don't start putting in the good habits, if you don't start showing people the quality, the standards that you stand by, that your brand stands by, first of all, they'll never accept you at that level. And second off, they'll never be able to see you past the level that you're already at. So that's why it's important to improve your craft each and every day, to learn each and every day, to, pretty much put in the time in all aspects of what you're doing, especially if you're the founder, to make this shit go, to, be able to learn different things that make the brand go, so that way when other people come in and do different jobs and you delegate that work to them, it's not any fall off. If anything, it's better because of the simple fact that you ain't got to put all that extra energy into it. Somebody else is putting that extra energy for you. So that's primarily, the overall, gain when you are becoming the brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, the main questions I want y'all to, really overthink tonight, not just think, but overthink tonight, is if someone followed you for 1 week, what would they learn about your values? Number one, they'll learn that, I'm obsessed with my dreams and goals first and foremost. That's all I think about. And then somebody asks me about that motherfucker. Like, I can definitely talk about everything and anything under the sun if you want to have a conversation. But if you're going to ask me about what I'm doing in my life, my business, I'm definitely tell you, like, all I'm focused on is my business and making shit go. Like, I'm not worried about what niggas doing. I'm not worried about what the new TV show came on. I'm not worried about Power and all that other shit. Not worried about NBA or any sports. None of that shit. I'm worried about dreams of ruler street fashion and what we doing here. You feel me? Like, the values that you'll, primarily see is that, I'm committed. I work hard. You know what I'm saying? I go to work every day. I don't really complain about the work I got to do, even though I hate it. Then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? I come right back home and get back on the grizzy grind for my brand and wake up early and do the same shit. You feel me? It's all a routine. Does your daily routine reflect the future you're trying to create? Hell yeah. Everything that we doing, I'm going to be doing when we scale up. And then the crazier part is once we scale up, I'll have the employees to do the shit that I don't even want to do no more. So it's like, yo, Some of the things I won't even have to do, but they'll still be getting done. You feel me? And that's a part of the process. That's part of understanding the process. You know what I'm saying? What part of your life most clearly communicates your philosophies? And I would just say, just honestly, my personal life, for real, like, man, that motherfucking bug is big as shit. Just flew on me. But yeah, like my life is pretty much, you know what I'm saying, a culmination of dream chaser, somebody that, lives in the moment, but also somebody that's a calculated, um, person that goes after, what they need, what they want, doing whatever I want. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, being a great brand isn't built only through products. It's built through alignment when your ideas, decisions, habits, actions all point in the same direction. People don't just, buy what they and buy what you create. You know what I'm saying? They understand what you stand for. That's what it means to become a brand. I also think, overall, it shifts the focus from, you know, how to design, but to how to lead a creative vision as well too. Once you start becoming, the brand itself, and starting to put your lifestyle principles into the brand. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just something to think about, because I know a lot of y'all pretty much running the brands on your own, and a lot of people pretty much telling you can't do it. You surely can, because I'm doing it. The only thing is you ain't going to be able to do it forever, though, just like they do say. And that is true. Like, if you want to really make your business prime time, you're going to eventually have to scale and, get the proper, employees, pieces to make things, really jump off the page. And, it takes time, but that's why, we helping you to actually start building the routines, the systems, and, that ecosystem for your brand. So that way when people come in, like I said, it's a seamless, approach. So, like I always say, at the end of these joints, make sure that, you like and subscribe first and foremost to our channels, platforms, and, make sure you check out our website, www.dreamsofrollerstreet.com. We got the From the Mud collection, the poetry book and ebook, and also the audio from the spoken word album. So make sure you check that out as well too. Make sure you do the solid research that you need to do. Put together a solid plan. Execute that motherfucker. And your dreams and goals will come to fruition. Keep visualizing. I'm out.